onModelCreating method is part of DB context. It takes an argument of type ModelBuilder, which allows us to specify the relationships between entities. So in order to create a method, we have to override it from the DB context. So let's do that. Let's create a protected and override. And the method doesn't return anything, and it's gonna be on model creating. And like I said, it takes a ModelBuilder type as an argument. ModelBuilder, and I'll name it ModelBuilder. So again, on ModelCreating is a virtual method inside DB context that we needed to override. Now, you wonder why it's protected, why not make it public or even private. If I do, you can see that it throws an error, and the error is it cannot change access modifiers when overriding. onModelCreating is protected in the DB context, so we have to match that modifier and make it protected as well. So now let's set up the relationships. We have two many-to-many relationships, one between book and author and one between book and category. It doesn't matter which one we'll start with, but I'll start with the category. The syntax uses a few methods that are part of the ModelBuilder, such as hasKey or hasOne, hasMany, and so on. These are methods used to specify what tables and properties we are matching. So inside the method, I will start the ModelBuilder, and I will first add the entity to it. And the entity I want, like I said, I'll start with the category, and that's the intermediary table book category, because those are the ones that I'm trying to match. These are the ones that have the many-to-many relationships. So we added the entity, and now we add a key. So we will add that it has a key, and the key that we want, we need to use a lambda expression for that. Since it's a book category, I'll name it BC for book category, and I'll assign a new key to it that will be the book ID and the category ID, because these are the two IDs that I am trying to match. So the first one is going to be bc.bookID, and you can see it's available in the IntelliSense because this is coming from the classes, from the model. And the second one is going to be the bc.category ID. So we added the entity and established the keys, and now let's establish the relationship. So again, I'll do ModelBuilder, and for the entity of the book category, I want to establish relationships, and because we are dealing with many-to-many relationship, we have to set it up in both directions. So the one direction is for book to have many categories, and then the other direction, of course, is to have one category for many books. So in this case, let's start with hasOne, and we'll start with a single book that will have many categories. So again, we'll do lambda expression for the book. So I'll do b and b.book. And what does this have? Well, this one has many categories. But these are not the categories from the category class. This is from the book category class, because that's where the relationship is again being set up. So BC for the book category goes into bc.book categories. And finally, we have to establish what is the foreign key here. And since we are establishing it for the book, then the book ID will be the foreign key. So has foreign key, and again it's for the book, so b.book ID. So let's recap. We established the entity for book category to create the many-to-many relationship between book and category. We established what the keys are, so book ID and category ID, and here we established the first many-to-many relationship from the point of the book. So in the book category, we have one book with many categories, and the foreign key is the book ID in this case. And now we have to establish the relationship from the point of categories. So I'm just gonna copy this, paste it right there, And again, we have the same entity because it's the same table, but this time it is gonna be the category that will have one. So I'll make it to C category. So we have one category with many in the book categories, and this time the foreign key will be the actual category ID. So C.category ID. And this established the many-to-many relationship for our book category. Next, we're going to establish the relationship for the entity in the book author table.